Now I know the Notting Hill Carnival is over, but the debate surrounding it is still going on, as well as the clean-up operation, because the carnage those people left behind is just so disrespectful for the area which allowed them to have their carnival, as well as shop owners and homes having to deboard their windows which they had put up as a means of protecting their properties. Now, as I mentioned, the debate about the Notting Hill Carnival is still raging on social media, and I think it should be brought to an end because of all the degeneracy and crime that happens when it's ongoing. I know it's just one day, but it's literally one day of hell. And I did say in my previous video I would never go to the Notting Hill Carnival, but saying that, I would if it was civilised. And alright, okay, there's rubbish being strewn everywhere, but there are people employed in order to clean that up. Not that they have to, but it provides a job, I guess. But it's all the other stuff, the stabbings, shitting in people's gardens, sexually assaulting policemen or women who don't seem to mind. I mean, it seems to me a copper can turn up at the Notting Hill Carnival and be sodomised. They wouldn't care because they don't want to be seen as racist, would they? I think it's only a matter of time before Met Police turn up at the Notting Hill Carnival, pull their pants down, bend over in a line and say, "Get it here," because we believe in inclusion, multiculturalism and diversity. And yet a white girl with mental health issues can call a copper gay, and they turn up en masse and drag her to the cells. One rule for one, another for the other. Now, there are people on social media who take exception to the criticism of the Notting Hill Carnival. And believe me or not, they say it was only 8 stabbings. Well, it's 8 stabbings too much. And they say stuff like, well, the crime to the attendance ratio is just too tiny for anyone to talk about. And that's the thing, there shouldn't be crime at all. I want it to be like the 80s when everyone got together, we had carnivals, there was no trouble, and everyone got along, everyone got home safe at the end of the day. Alright, we had football hooligans, and yes, we frowned upon them as well. And these people are trying to say, well, what about white thugs at football matches? What about Glastonbury? But the only problem with Glastonbury is the rubbish. Otherwise, it's a sex fest and drugs all over the shop. And again, everyone goes home safe. Violence during festivals or football matches here in the UK is now virtually unheard of. And then one guy even said to me, what about the Queen's funeral? Yes, there were millions of people lining the streets in London on the Queen's funeral, but unlike the Notting Hill Carnival, they didn't stab each other, shit in people's gardens, and start licking each other's assholes. And I don't think the problem is demographics either, because I've had plenty of black people come onto my previous 2 videos about this, and they agree wholeheartedly that the behaviour of those attending Notting Hill Carnival, they're a disgrace, they're embarrassed, and they don't understand why they behave like that, and rightly so, and I applaud these people for doing so. I think it takes a lot of courage these days to point out when your own people are doing something untowards. So I think it's evident really, the Notting Hill Carnival gets worse every year. The Met Police are too cowed by political correctness in order to do anything about it, and I'm quite happy to send officers there in order to get abused, and I still think the event should be cancelled until there's a safer, viable option. And there we go, that's my video. I hope you like. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next time, Roger Trout.